Okay, I want to ask you a question about AI. So we know Elon Musk has these like robots, androids. I mean, what is a good term to describe these things that he's designed? What would you describe them as?
Yeah, that's a great question. Typically, we'd call them humanoid robots or androids. In Elon Musk's case, like with the Tesla bot or Optimus, they're designed as physical robots that can do human like tasks. So, humanoid or service robots would fit pretty well. And the focus is really on them being adaptable, useful, and integrated into everyday environments. So, humanoid robot is usually the go to.
Right. So I heard like talks of one day, and not too far within the next 2 years. 'Cause I think at this stage now, I think it's 30,000 or something like that for each bot. And obviously they're not obviously, but they're working for like factories and things like that. But he hopes that in the next 10 years the price will be reduced, and they'll be able to kind of do stuff around the house, even babysit children. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's definitely a big vision, and the price drop is crucial if it's ever going to reach more households. I mean, for industrial use, it makes sense. There, the cost can be justified. But once they start aiming for home settings, especially with caregiving roles like babysitting, there are huge safety, ethical, and trust questions. I think if it happens, it'll need really careful oversight. Like, we can't just assume it's a quick fix for family dynamics.
But can you see it coming within the next 10 years? Because I mean, let's face it, technology now is moving at a ridiculously fast pace. So can you see it happening within the next 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely plausible. We're seeing AI and robotics advance at a breakneck pace. Just look at how fast things like generative AI or computer vision are improving. So, if costs come down and the tech matures, yeah, in a decade, it's not out of the question. But that said, it's going to take a ton of regulation and trust building before we'd see them in homes, especially with something as sensitive as childcare.
If we were to create these humanoids or androids, do you think it would be advisable to create them with ridiculously superhuman strength, or do you think it would be important to monitor just how strong these things are in comparison to normal human beings?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think it would be really important to keep that strength in check. I mean, if these robots have superhuman strength and they're in a home or a care environment, that could be pretty dangerous. You'd need really tight controls. Think force limits, fail safes, and constant monitoring so that human safety stays front and center.
What do you think? In regards to like fail safe, like there'll always be one person out there trying to jailbreak these things. So do you think that would be like an issue?
Yeah, that's a huge risk. I mean, no matter how well you design a system, there's always going to be someone trying to hack or override it. That's why the failsafes can't just be about hardware. They have to be backed by strong software security, frequent updates, and really rigorous testing. If we don't account for that, these systems could end up being exploited in ways we just can't anticipate.
What is your view on the movie AI? Sorry, not AI. Sorry, scrap that. What is your view on the Will Smith movie where he basically battles androids?
Ah, you're thinking of iRobot. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting film. It's set in this near future world where robots are integrated into society, but they have these strict laws to protect humans. And then, of course, things go wrong. And Will Smith's character is dealing with this tension between trust and fear of the AI. I think it raises a lot of cool ethical questions about autonomy and the future of tech.
Well, I think that's it, guys. That's enough on AI. Okay, so let's move on to some other questions. Another thing. Let's first of all let's see a clip. Let's bring back the vibes for a bit, guys. Yeah, because enough of this AI and award shows and all that kind of nonsense, right? Let's move on. Let's move on past that now. Let's get a little bit of banter in here, right? And we can always. Oh, it's gone now. Damn it. All right, so guys, I was gonna do a segment called Fake Book News. Okay. Now it's no disrespect to Facebook. It's no disrespect to Facebook or Facebook, whatever you want to describe it as. Yeah. It's just the fact that it's got to a stage now on Facebook where there's nothing that you read on it that we know to be real. It's as simple as that. When you're on Facebook now, there's nothing. Let's look on it. Let's look on Facebook now. Let's look on Facebook now. Right. So as I'm going through Facebook now, what does this mean? Is this real? We don't know. Is this even in a real picture? Could be, may not be. Yeah. Um. tip whole family abusing 50 with records. Funny enough, that could even be AI. That could be AI. It's a perfect example of something that could be AI. That's an AI picture. Yeah? 50 Cent, and there's Tiny Harris, yeah? King's mum. Okay? I'm gonna make this very quick. Let's not even waste time on this, yeah? What do I think about the whole situation between 50 Cent and T.I. and his son King and all that kind of stuff, yeah? You got to understand that it's not what happens between these rappers. It might be a little bit of banter between these rappers. Oh, your mum this, your mum that. It might not. It might be a little banter. Let me break it down to you guys in another way where you can understand it. Yeah. Let me break it down to you in another way we can understand it. So let me find this. Because we all remember what happened with Tupac, right? We know what happened with Tupac.
This your mother, right?
Oh, you serious?
Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Serious?
Stop fucking playing with me, bro.
You serious?
Right. So the girl says in the beginning, "Is this your mama?" Right? That's what she says. Is
This your mother, right?
Oh, you serious?
Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
Serious?
Right. So I don't want to kind of get deeply into this. I don't want to linger on it for too long, or the clip for too long, because it kind of kills the vibe for me, to be honest with you. Yeah. But is this your mama, right? She slaps her, and apparently it's because her ex-boyfriend, she broke up with him, or something to do with her ex-boyfriend. So she's knocked on the door, and she's grabbed his mum, and she started slapping his mum around the face. Now apparently people are saying that she was murdered the next day. Now the point I'm trying to make is that as 50 Cent, he's got his Hollywood Walk of Fame now. He's got a step on the Hollywood. So yeah, he's obviously up there in the stars for them to give him his own Hollywood Walk of Fame step and all that kind of stuff. He's familiar with what happened with Tupac and Biggie and all those kind of things, but he is starting to go a little bit too far. He's gone after Claressa Shields, and he showed a picture of her trying to make her look like a man and this and that. Claressa Shields is a female boxer, and boxers have to put themselves through a ridiculous amount of put their bodies through a ridiculous amount of stress, yeah, in order to be athletes, basically, in a nutshell. And he showed a picture of Claressa Shields at like 18, 17, 19, and he was trying to diss her because of her boyfriend Papoose. But it was kind of disrespectful because Claressa, from where I'm standing, has actually done quite a lot for the black community. He also went after, who else? I think he posted a picture of Tiny before that, actually. I'm sure he did. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to start making up things here. But the point I'm making is that some of these jokes is going a little bit, tad bit too far. Especially when that person has children, kids. So I'm trying to say. So, and we know how the whole Tupac and Biggie thing went. Imagine if they were mentioning each other's mothers at that time. Yeah? Because like I said, it's not just about what happens between these two rappers. Sometimes that kind of, what's the word? It spills over into the streets. And you got a fan that's madly devoted to these people. And they're like, boy, just like football fans, really. They're madly devoted, and they're like, boy, they sit down and they meditate and they say, you know what, if that was my mama, and they take it personal. And sometimes it's not even the rapper that gets killed, it's the fans arguing amongst themselves. So I think like 50 really needs to change his approach. I think this is a bit wrong for someone his age now. He must be the same age as me, 47, 48 years old now, 50. It's time to kind of like, you've earned enough money now. There's no need for this stuff, and just like mentioning people's mums and all that kind of stuff. T.I.'s son now, King House, is mentioning 50's mum, disrespecting her after she's already dead and all that kind of stuff. It's just gone a little too far. It's gone a bit messy now, and it's probably going to end in some in bloodshed one way or another. Do you understand? I'll put it out there. I'll say it. Do you understand? So I'm 47, 48 years old. 47, 48 years old. You're not going to find me on the internet disrespecting people's mums, because I know someone's going to see me in the street. I know they will. I know that someone's going to see me in the street, and unless I have a legitimate argument or I'm favoured, then someone's going to say, boy, I'm going to be walking. I'll tell you how it's going to pan out, guys. I'm going to be walking down the street, and someone's going to shout a comment. They're going to say, yo, perfection. And I won't even know where it's coming from. Perfection. I won't even know where it's coming from. I look around, and then I'll zoom in on some guy, and they'll walk up to me and say, yo, 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 yo. And then this is how it started out in the beginning. They'll say, yo, yo, I saw your video, innit? You're the perfection guy, innit? Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. You're dissing Samuel's mother, innit? Something about she's a bitch and you hope she died after the grave, innit? What's all that about? Yeah, well, boy, you know, the man was, but to diss the man's mother. You want to diss his mum, though? Don't you think that was a bit out of order? And then what he'll do is he'll basically hype himself up, and then before you know it, probably put his hand into his pocket and probably pull out something or something like that. Because a lot of people are carrying stuff these days. That's the kind of world that we're living in these days. Or you might just get someone running from behind and just they see you, they notice you, run it from behind because they've seen it. I've seen one guy walking down the road and two guys run up behind him. He's none the wiser, and they've hit him with something. I never got to see what the object was because once I saw it, I just turned a blind eye to it. I'm walking up the hill, by the way, so I'm nowhere near. They're at the bottom of the hill. So I'm not going to go running down the hill to save someone I don't know. All I did is just turn the blind eye to it. So I'm walking up this hill now. They're at the bottom of the hill. I just see two guys running behind some guy. And that's how quickly it is. It doesn't always boil down. When anything involved in the internet, it's not always between A and B. It spills over into fans. So I'm trying to say. And when you reach the age of probably 25 and beyond that, if you've been raised right, you're not going after people's mums. You're not even going after females. The last thing you're doing is going after females. It doesn't make any sense. But let's move on past that anyway, guys. Yeah. So I'm not here to. Yeah, I don't want to say nothing more about it because it's too touchy. Now it's involved people's mums and all that kind of stuff. It's just too darn touchy. Right, is there any fun? Let's find other things. So Facebook news, guys, yeah? Let's find some more stuff to talk about because there's always stuff on Facebook, always. But the point I'm making is don't take it too seriously because there's always things on there. Well, none of it can be believed to be real, so I'm trying to say. That's a genuinely real clip. I believe this is real. That one's real. Terrence Howard. Believe it or not, that could be AI. This hair could be AI. Yeah? So what is he saying in this? Let's listen to it, guys.
Because in every relationship, there's this factor of least.
Right, so let's rewind it. Ugh, damn it. Why is it always so hard?
If you want to examine where you are with your partner, you have to think about this one law called the factor of least interest. Because in every relationship, there's this factor of least interest involved, meaning the person least interested in maintaining the relationship, they will dominate it because they refuse to compromise. The relationship should be 50-50. Anything other than that, then somebody's on the losing end. Love thyself. If you want to examine where you are with...
Right, so this is my response. So I posted this video and this is my response to it, guys. This is what I wrote. Let's go back to it. Because we're coming towards the end of this now, guys, yeah? So I put, look, bro, if she's not willing to sacrifice the same way you are, it's a no-go. Yeah, what's that saying? A man will sacrifice his happiness to make a woman happy, whilst a woman will sacrifice a man to make herself happy. Yeah? And then if you listen to the song Law by Chris Brown, Lil Wayne in the beginning of it raps about, he says this, he says, you all about her while she's all about hers. So I missed the S there, it's actually hers. You all about her while she's all about hers. Now what does he mean by that? You all about her while she's all about hers. What it means is that while you're heavily falling in love with her, she's heavily falling in love with herself. And I've come across it. Where you're worshipping the ground she walks on, and in the midst of it, she's worshipping herself. And a perfect example of that was when they done this again. It was a fake book again. They done a video where a guy's sitting in the car and he accidentally leaves his credit card at home, or he pretends to anyway. And he's like, we're on our way to the restaurant, but he was like, oh damn, I forgot my credit card, you know. Do you think you can cover the bill, you know? And she was like, nah, nah, nah. What did you say? And he was like, well, do you think you can cover the bill? She was like, nah, I can't. And he was like, well, what are you talking about? Well, I always pay. She goes, yeah, but that's my money. And he's like, yeah, but I've always spent my money. And she's like, that's because your money is my money, and my money is my money. And he was like, what do you mean? She's like, no, no, that's my money is my money. Your money is my money. See, that's some. There's this. People would have seen it on Facebook. They know what I'm talking about. And basically, he's in his car and he's pretending like he's setting her up. That's what I'm trying to say. And it comes across quite, look, brilliant acting, because that's what I'm trying to say. It's got to a stage now where you don't even know whether someone's acting or not. Like there's a what do you call it? There's a sketch where this teacher's in the classroom and she's got a big booty, and the kids are throwing things at the teacher, and she's talking to him while she's got this huge ass. Then the next clip, you're seeing her on an aeroplane, and she's trying to scooch past this guy, and she's got a big bum. She's putting her bum. So they're all sketches, you understand? But this sketch in particular was about this woman sitting down in the car. She's basically letting the guy know that, listen, yeah, um, it's all about me in a nutshell. Do you understand? And it's all about my safety, my security. And I'm not really too concerned about 50-50. There is no 50-50. It's, you know, if you run out of money, then there's plenty of other guys behind you that are willing to kind of, you know, fund my lifestyle or this or that. So it's not a, what do you call it? It's not a genuine concern. It's not genuine. It's not authentic. It's materialistic. It's based upon those principles. And if a man can no longer provide, then anything can happen. So I'm trying to say, and that kind of relationship for me is not a relationship I want to be in. Do you understand? And I think that's what Terrence Howard's trying to say, is that, you know, from the moment that you discover that as a man, it's best to kind of head for the door, make a beeline for the door. So I'm trying to say, because in the long run, it's not genuine, it's not real. And if you're fortunate enough to be in a real relationship, then guys already know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about. And when they see women like that, they don't entertain it. Whereas I've got many other guys that are still on this like 1950s, I'm a man, I must do everything, blah blah blah. She doesn't have to do this, she doesn't have to do that. But that's kind of dangerous in my eyes, because God forbid anything goes wrong with you. That's when you're, and that's what I wrote. Let me finish off what I was writing, guys, just to kind of get to the end of this. So I think I've blabbered on for a long time now. So I put, look, it's not a material thing, it's a spiritual companionship thing. It's just some men are financially secure to the point that they never have to find out. So, and in other words, I'm saying, look, it's not a material thing, yeah? It's not, a woman shouldn't be with a man for material things. It's a spiritual companionship thing. It runs deeper than what's the word? Runs deeper than flesh, basically, yeah? It's just that some guys are they never lose their job. They're always doing well. They're always on their toes. You know, they're always trying to be the alpha male, the white knight, and so forth, right? And they're just lucky enough that they've always been safe in their life. So they've never got to see that other side of running out of money. They've never got to put themselves in that situation to see what she's really about. They've never had to test her. And that was it. And then I put, if I end up old, dying alone in that care home, it was never by devoting my entire life to someone that saw me as a pet rather than a person. And that's the truth in a nutshell. Not me, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not one of those guys, you know. If it's not genuine for me, I'd rather be by myself. So I'm trying to say. But guys, or just be real. Just say, look, I know it's not genuine. You don't give a damn about me. You know, fair enough. Then, you know, it's a what do you call it? What do you call it now? It's a relationship of convenience, you know. You want me for my money. I probably want you to probably engage in, you know, sexual activity or whatever, and that's it. We'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? But there's no genuine care. If I couldn't get that from you tomorrow, I'll probably dump you. And if you couldn't get cash from me, but at least that's being real. That's what I'm trying to say. But guys, anyway, thank you for listening. This is part 3. And I hope to do more videos with AI. Now that I found, someone intelligent that I can rely on without them kind of saying things that are gonna kind of come back to bite them in the arse and certain stuff that they're gonna be ashamed of. So I'm trying to say, thank you for listening, guys. Peace out. I'm gone.